fantastic up on you. Me, I no fit give up on you. Abimbola use ninja.
All right, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for staying with us right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. All right, this radio station for women and their families, and it's a very beautiful afternoon. I don't know whether it's raining where you are or it's just chill around where you are, but whatever it is, take advantage of the weather because yesterday's sun, hey, it was not joking. So take advantage of this today. From Janet Pharmaceuticals, you're joining me today, this afternoon, and of course, about time to deliver zero malaria. Use Camosunate. That's our topic for today. You know now, once we come here and we talk malaria, it's Camosunate we're looking at, and of course, Janet Pharmaceuticals. You know. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. And of course, joining me in the studio is pharmacist Bowoto Abimbola. He's the AGM Sales and Marketing, Janet Pharmaceuticals, I believe. Good afternoon to you too. How are you? How have you been since the last time we met?
Oh,
That
fantastic.
was sometime last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Hope you've been great. Hey, I have a regular with me, pharmacist Ufondu Nneamaka, Assistant Product Manager for Camosunate. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
How have
Rose.
you been?
Very well, thank you for
How's,
having me.
how's work? How's the every?
Fine, fine.
Sure, you shall bought Christmas clothes for them and kept on that box.
So I did. Because I don't want to go through the December rush. I had to buy it earlier. Yes.
Oh yes, I like that's your style. Honestly, buying it early and it's going to be cheaper
Yes, cheaper.
compared to now. All right, so those are the voices of the amazing people joining me from Jennifer Pharmaceuticals this afternoon, and we're going to be talking about time to deliver zero malaria. Use Camosunate. All right, so let's head on to pharmacist Bowoto Abimbola. We'll be starting up with him at the AGM. Oga, let's start with that. As in,
Absolutely.
so it's something that you can boot with your full chests.
Absolutely.
Tell us more now. Let's
I
hear.
can assure people 100% that when
Mm.
it comes to conquering malaria in Nigeria, it is the best choice.
Hmm.
That's the best choice.
Ah, okay. Okay. So there you have it. You heard it from the yoga, the AJ himself, saying that Camosunate is just what you come to mind when you're thinking about conquering malaria. All right. Excuse me. In this, is this in in adults? Camosunate in adults.
All right. I just want to say this. You know, during the last time we talked about Camosunate being in different ranges or different age group. We talked about Camosunate in adults, talked about Camosunate for 7 to 13, then narrowed it down to the children
Yeah.
and the pediatrics. But today we're going to talk about treatment, zero malaria in Nigeria using Camosunate in adults. Now, so basically, if you look at what is happening in Nigeria at the moment, you realize that most people, when it comes to the choice of choosing from arrays of anti-malaria formulations, people are always confused. They don't know the ideal choice. But we are here to tell people, Nigerians today, that when you are down with malaria, the ideal choice is Camosunate. And why? Why do we say Camosunate? How effective is Camosunate as compared to the other anti-malaria formulations in the market? One, Camosunate, like we rightly said the other time, I said it has almost 100% cure rate. Now, Camosunate, there is a study that was performed some years back by Jenny from the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, and it was realized that Camosunate gave an efficacy of about 95.8%. That's an excellent result, isn't it?
95 point. Yeah.
95 point. Because there are three parameters when it comes to choosing an ideal anti-malaria. The first one is in terms of efficacy. The second one is in terms of tolerability, and the third is in terms of looking at the side effect of the product. So if you look at these parameters, you realize that studies have shown that Camosunate gave 95.8% efficacy. Now, in terms of tolerability, there was no case withdrawal due to adverse drug reactions, and there was no therapeutic emergent signs and symptoms due to use of Camosunate. And more importantly, it was also discovered that there was no evidence of toxicity. So it means that Camosunate is well tolerated. So if you look at all these three parameters, you realize that Camosunate is the first line treatment when it comes to treating malaria. And again, Camosunate, we realize that Camosunate is something that has a double-edged attack. What do I mean by double-edged attack? Apart from the fact that is a first-line treatment when it comes to treating malaria, it is also, used in multi-drug resistant when you have multi-drug resistant strains of Plasmodium falciparum. So what does that mean? What it means is that if you have used a lot of anti-malaria formulations and it has failed, the last resort is Camosunate. So it's the first when it comes to choosing malaria, last resort when others formulations in the Nigerian market has failed.
So it's more like soldier go, soldier come.
Yes,
Idea.
that's why we call it a double-edged attack. It gives a double-edged attack when it comes to malaria treatments.
Okay, all right. So that's pretty much amazing. All right, Barrister Ufondu, let's come to you. Did I say barrister? Pharmacist Ufondu. Maybe you just get another.
Maybe she's still going to be
Yeah,
one.
you know.
You can't be too sure.
All right. So how can the effects, or rather the side effects of Camosunate be managed? Because we know that every drug has its own side effect. So let's talk about its own side effects and how can this be managed, especially in adults, since we talked of kids last week.
Yeah. So, like you said, every drug has its own side effects. So, Camosunate, it's not an exception to that. But I think these side effects, we as a company, Journey Pharmaceutical, we looked into the common side effects that our patients, because we got feedbacks from our patients, and we looked into the common side effect they usually have, which is the hypoglycemic effect of the drug. What I mean by that is most times when people take this drug, they tend to feel dizzy. Not everyone. Someone like me, I take it regularly as a malaria drug. But once some people have this hypoglycemic effect, when we went out to ask questions to know why they're having this, we found out that most of them don't eat before taking this. Please, if you don't have food around you, or when you take those things with, I don't think you will feel that side effect again. And over the years, since we started advising our patients, our prescribers on what to do, we've not had any issues on the side effects of Camosunate. Apart from that, Camosunate is a great drug marketed by Genesis Pharmaceutical Limited, and we don't compromise on our the quality of our products.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Pharmacist Ufondu, for telling us about that, the side effects and all of that. So, let me, because last week you talked about a lot about how kids, because you have these kids now. Maybe share with us some few experiences aside yours, or people that have used Camosunate and come back to tell you that, oh, okay, this is how far it has worked for me, and this are. So maybe tell us, or maybe give us few testimonies of some people that have used this.
Okay. Before I came into Janet as a medical representative, I worked in a community pharmacy. Then I knew nothing about Janet, or I just Camosunate. And it was an easy pick for me because once I see a patient that comes time and time again down with malaria, I tend to be like, okay, what should I give this patient? And once you're able to treat someone well, they'll have this confidence in you. So that was when I started Camosunate, even before knowing Camosunate.
Okay.
So then I joined, I knew more about the drug. I tend to talk to people about the drug, and the feedback I've gotten has been so encouraging because most of these doctors, they want, like I said earlier, they want this confidence, this level of confidence from their patients, and they've come back time and time again to tell me, Nneamaka, thank you for telling me about Camosunate, because the strain of malaria we have now is very, very is resistant to the normal ACTs that are in the market. And now when they use Camosunate, they tend to have protection of this resistant great deal in Nigeria. It can be found in any pharmaceutical shops around you. It's nationwide. When you walk into any pharmacy, you're down with malaria. Like I said the other time, getting results. But once you use Camosunate, I trust you. I promise you are going to have the best result you seek for.
All right. So let me come to you, Abimbola. Now, the Camosunate, what was in the mind of Janet Pharmaceutical, or what was in the mind of, coming together to produce such a drug that, could beat every form of resistance that the body could bring up and deal with malaria, once and for all?
Yeah. Let me say this. Before now, we had, there was monotherapy going on. People were using chloroquine and all that. But it got to a time that, science is dynamic. It got to a time that, these Plasmodium strains that we have in Nigeria were,
Mm.
were being resistant to some of these quinine derivatives, the chloroquine and all that. So now people brought in artemisinin, just artemether and all that, and this was also immunotherapy. So at the point in time, at the initial stage, it was working very well, but at the point in time, there was resistance again. So people started looking for a combination therapy, that will have a synergistic effect, and that was why you have this artemisinin combination therapy. They call it ACT. That came in. So a lot of formulations came in. Different formulations that I don't want to mention at this moment.
Yeah.
But it got to a point that when you use some of this combination therapy, after a month or two, I mean, you fall sick again, you diagnose, the malaria is being diagnosed and all that again. People just sat down and was like, what can we do to at least stay away for a very long time? It's not like we're not going to have malaria in Nigeria. This is like my colleague said the other time, we're in the tropics. This is a malaria endemic environment.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you are still going to be bitten by the female Anopheles mosquito. You need something that will stay in your body for a very long time. That was how we came. That was how Artemita and the Amodiaquin came about. And by the time we did this, we realized that apart from the treatments, the 3-day treatment, you get well easily, rapidly absorbed and all that. This is the Camosunate is still going to stay, in your body for the next 31 days again. So it automatically means that even if the female Anopheles mosquito bites you again and transmit this, you still have something in your body. This is like a defense mechanism. You still have this defense mechanism in your body. It's like a soldier that will always fight for you for the next 31 days. You understand? So with that, what does that mean? Is that one, you are saving money because you don't have to start using another anti-malaria formulations and all that. Secondly, you are limiting resistance, because by the time you start using some anti-malaria formulations for a long time, the possibility of you having resistance and all that, it saves you from those resistance and all that. So one, you're saving money. One, you limit the issue of resistance and all that. So that was how Janet came into being. And at the time we came into being, like she rightly said, people were like, oh, the Amodia queen and all that. Like, we need the Amodia queen that gives this hypoglycemic effect is not peculiar to Camosunate. So people started having some hypoglycemic effect, they feel dizzy, they feel weak and all that. What did we do as a company? We went to our drawing board again. We came out, I told you the other time that we're very innovative. So we went back to the drawing board and we came up with the idea that we can actually do a divided dosage form. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we came up with a dose that you can use in the morning and night. And with that, it reduces the hypoglycemic effect to the barest minimum.
All right, thank you very much. So this is where we will wrap it up. But before we go, Amaka, just give us, your parting words for today until we'll have you back next time. Because next time I'll see if it's New Year like this. Okay, so give us your parting words. Yes, on behalf of Janet Pharmaceutical and Camosunate too, especially for this Christmas period.
Okay, on behalf of everyone at Jenny Pharmaceuticals Limited, we are wishing our listeners, our customers, our prescribers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And please, please, and please use Camosunate whenever you're down with malaria. Camosunate is the best choice for you. Camosunate does wonders, and have a malaria-free New Year.
Of course, malaria-free New Year. All right, so thank you very much. AGM Sales and Marketing, Pharmacist Bowoto Abimbola. Thank you for coming through. Pharmacist Ufondu Nneamaka. You will not say I got it right, Abby.
No. The first time you called the name, I was like,
improvements.
Yeah.
Give me my flowers.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so thank you very much for coming through. So we'll see you all next time again. Wish you happy holidays and prosperous New Year.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's all we have for you for now. Just station to Women Radio WFM 91.7. Good afternoon.
Listening to of women. It's not just